The Matrix is a modern classic. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite all-time movies. I remember seeing it at the cinema when I was a teenager and just being blown away by it, walking out the cinema and just not knowing what to think of the world. I remember that feeling even today, and I still, it's one of those movies that I go back to and watch 2-3 times a year. Now, part of the reason I do that is that Neo's journey through that story is a perfect hero's journey. And so in this video, what I want to do is walk you through every single stage that Neo goes through to get to becoming the one, and show exactly how the hero's journey works. Alright, let's get to it. The first time we see Neo, he's at his computer, and the Herald appears immediately, telling him to follow the White Rabbit, and that he's going to get a knock at the door. Now, he gets that knock at the door, and these chumps appear, and they then basically tell him that what his internal problem is and his external problem is, but he doesn't even know that he's being told that, and they don't even know that they're telling him. He says that he's his own personal Jesus Christ, which is him being told that he is going to save the world and that needs to be unplugged and get some R&R. That is literally his external problem, what he needs to do in order to save the world. After Neo's boss has literally told him to conform to what the company needs him to be, Neo takes a call from Morpheus, which is the special world, right? And they're trying to get him to them into the special world. And he initially follows his instructions because he believes he can do them. And then when it gets to a point where he feels like it's too crazy, where it's pushed him past his limits of what he believes is possible, he refuses the call. He literally refuses the instructions of a phone call, which he's then subsequently punished for doing. They give him 2 pieces of aid at this point. The first thing they do is they take the tracker out of him. And that shows Neo that there's another reality out there, that there's something more that he doesn't know about or understand. The second piece of aid is when presented with an ultimatum of it's our way or the highway. In his mind, he's like, I don't want to follow any rules. And Trinity persuades him that, like, he can go down that road. He can stick to the rules that he knows really well, but he knows where that's going to lead to. And it's not going to solve his problem. It's not going to teach him anything new. And so that amount of curiosity brings him back in and allows him to go to the next stage. Neo here actively chooses to no longer be part of the ordinary world. He takes the red pill and is unplugged from the Matrix. He literally crosses from a world that he knows and understands and is taken across a threshold through a mirror, unplugged from the thing and picked up by a spaceship, to a world where anything is possible. His body is rebuilt with the crazy acupuncture, and he gets shown around the ship. Now, this is confirmation to Neo that he is now fully separated from his ordinary world. He doesn't exist there anymore. And the only thing he can do is move forward into the special world. So the first trial is where he first goes into the construct program and Morpheus tells him what the Matrix is and why it exists. And this issue that Neo has to work out is that the ordinary world isn't what he thinks it is, and that he is going to be the one who can change it. It's a lot to come to terms with, and it takes Neo a minute to really figure it out. The second trial is the cool one where he learns to fight and fights Morpheus and all that stuff. And the issue there that he's having to work out is that the rules of the ordinary world can be bent or broken by him specifically. So the third trial is him doing the first time he's got to jump across 2 buildings. And he fails at it, but the issue that they're trying to teach him at this point is that what the mind perceives to be real is what is real. And if you can change your perception, then you can change your reality. So the fourth trial is the agent training, woman in the red dress, all of that. And the issue that's being worked out here is that people who perceive the world the same way, who all agree on what the world is and should be, are resistant to that perception being changed. And the agents are the manifestation of that resistance. And this is my half one at the end, really, where it's the first time he bends a spoon, and that's kind of his first attempt at trying to change the world. So the vase breaks, and then the Oracle tells him that he isn't the one, but also that he doesn't believe in fate. In other words, Neo will be the one when he believes he is the one. That is the mother archetype giving the hero the answer they need in order to make them change. So Neo's not the one, or so he's been told. He doesn't believe it yet. But Morpheus does. And the goddess then tells him that other people do believe that he's the one, and that they're going to sacrifice themselves for him. And it's up to him to decide whether those people live or die. Again, this is living up to the mother's archetype being an amoral figure and just presenting the world as it is. And leaving the hero, Neo, to figure out what the right thing to do is. The problem comes to pass, and Neo has to deal with it. And he believes that he can bring Morpheus back and save his life, even though he's not the one. And so Neo and Trinity get tooled up, and they kill a bunch of people, and they blow a bunch of stuff up, and they save Morpheus. Because he made the right moral choice, he's rewarded by being able to save his friends. And he also does that by demonstrating that he has mastered the new skills and responsibilities he needs in order to actually change. Neo's decision to fight the agent is the first sign that he's beginning to believe that he might be the one. Now, he wins the fight, but the agent also comes back to life, right? So, he's figured out a way to destroy the resistance from the ordinary world, but not a way to destroy it permanently. And so, because of that, he decides to run. Now, when the agents catch up to him, they say goodbye, Mr. Anderson, when they kill him, because that's the part of him that they are killing off. So he dies, and gets a glimpse of eternity, so to speak. And in that moment, Trinity tells him that she loves him, and because she loves him, that he's the one. Now, when he's reborn without that ordinary world version of himself. He's reborn as something new. He's reborn as the one. And so he can see the world exactly for what it is, just code. Neo can now see the Matrix for what it is, just code. And because he can see it that way, he can then manipulate it however he wants. He can stop bullets, he can destroy agents, he can now be the one and change the world however he sees fit. Neo's new ordinary world now yells at him from that place in order for him to get to the threshold crossing. So Neo picks up the phone and crosses back to his new ordinary world and barely survives. But he does survive, and then he gives Trinity a little kiss. Aww. So here it's real quick, but he shows that he knows what reality is, and he decides to show the ordinary world what he's learned. Now, because of everything that he's learned and that he's changed, he's now free to do whatever it is he wants to do, including flying away if he wants to. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, give us a like or a subscribe. Also, if you've got any questions, or if you think there's things that I've missed or that I didn't get right, put them in the comments below. I'm totally down to chat about it.